You used to own your chickens, every one of them. You bought them, you raised them, you sold them. The profit was yours. The loss was yours. The decision was yours. Today, Tyson owns the chickens. Perdue owns the chickens. Pilgrim's Pride owns the chickens. They arrive on your farm in a company truck. They leave on a company truck. The price they pay you for raising them is set by the company. The feed they eat is supplied by the company. The medication they receive is approved by the company. You own the chicken house. And you own the equipment inside it. You own the land it sits on. You own the debt that paid for all of it. You do the work. You carry the risk. You pay the bills. But you do not own the chickens. This arrangement has a name: contract poultry growing. And it is not new. It was built deliberately, over decades, by companies that understood something most farmers did not see coming. You can transfer all the risk of raising livestock to the farmer while keeping all the profit for the company, if you structure the contract carefully enough. This video is about how that happened. Not to blame any farmer who signed a contract. The terms looked reasonable when the industry was young. The debt looked manageable when chicken prices were good. The relationship looked like a partnership. It was not a partnership. And understanding how it became what it is today matters for every farmer watching this, because the same model has spread far beyond poultry. If this land runs in your blood, subscribe to Classic Farm Iron. Fellow farmers are watching right now. And three forces turned chicken farming from independent ownership into contract servitude: vertical integration, the tournament payment system, the debt trap built into the upgrade cycle. Each one transferred something that used to belong to the farmer into a system controlled entirely by the integrator. And each one made leaving the system harder than staying in it, even when staying in it was destroying the farm. Vertical integration first. In 1950, American chicken farming looked like American farming in every other sector. Independent farmers owned their flocks. They bought chicks from independent hatcheries. They bought feed from independent feed mills. They sold birds to independent processors at market prices determined by supply and demand. Jewell in Georgia changed that. In the 1940s and 1950s, Jewell began supplying farmers with chicks and feed on credit, then buying the finished birds back. The farmer provided the labor and the facilities. Jewell controlled everything else. The model worked. Other companies copied it. Tyson copied it. Perdue copied it. ConAgra copied it. By 1980, vertical integration had consumed most of American poultry production. As by 2024, 4 companies control more than 50% of American chicken production: Tyson, Perdue, Pilgrim's Pride, Sanderson Farms. The independent chicken farmer who bought his own chicks and sold at market price is essentially gone. What replaced him is a contract grower who provides the building, the land, the labor, and the debt, while the company provides the chickens, the feed, the rules, and the price. The tournament system, second. You used to know exactly what you would be paid for your chickens before they arrived. Market price, transparent. And the same price your neighbor got for the same birds raised the same way. Contract poultry growing replaced market price with something called the tournament system. The company ranks growers against each other based on feed conversion, how efficiently each farmer converted company feed into company chicken weight. Growers who rank at the top of their flock placement receive a bonus above the base rate. Growers who rank at the bottom receive a deduction below the base rate. The logic sounds reasonable. Pay better farmers more. Incentivize performance. The reality is different. Feed conversion is not determined entirely by farmer skill. So the chick quality the company delivers varies. The feed formulation the company provides varies. The placement schedule, how many chickens arrive at your farm versus your neighbor's farm, is controlled by the company. Farmers have documented cases of receiving lower quality chicks just before contract renewal, producing lower rankings, creating leverage for the company in contract renegotiation. The farmer cannot prove the chicks were lower quality. The company controls the data on chick quality. The farmer cannot verify whether his feed was the same formulation as his neighbor's feed. The company controls the feed records. By 2024, the average contract poultry grower earns approximately $18,000 per year in net income, after debt service on the chicken house and equipment, after utility costs, after labor. $18,000 on a farm that required $500,000 to $1 million in capital investment. The debt trap third. You used to build a chicken house and keep it until it wore out. The building you built in 1975 might still be producing in 1995, by which time the debt was paid and the building was generating real income. After the upgrade cycle changed that math. Integrators began requiring periodic upgrades as a condition of contract renewal. New ventilation systems, new feeding equipment, new watering systems, wider houses, tunnel ventilation replacing natural ventilation. Each upgrade was presented as an improvement. Better bird performance, better rankings in the tournament system, better income. Each upgrade also reset the debt clock. A farmer who had almost paid off his original chicken house was now borrowing again to upgrade it. As the upgrade cycle ensured a perpetually indebted grower class, farmers with too much debt to walk away and not enough income to get ahead. USDA data shows the average contract poultry grower carries between $300,000 and $1 million in debt. The contract that generates the income to service that debt runs one flock at a time, typically 6 to 8 weeks. If the company decides not to place another flock after that contract, the farmer has a paid-off debt on a building with no birds in it and no other use for the structure he borrowed to build. The numbers tell the full story. In 1950, an independent chicken farmer owned his birds, but sold at market, and kept the margin between his costs and the market price. In a good year, that margin was real. In a bad year, the market absorbed the loss across all sellers. In 2024, a contract poultry grower invests $500,000 to $1 million in facilities, earns $18,000 per year net after debt service, has no negotiating power on the contract price because switching integrators requires finding a new company willing to place flocks in his existing facility, which may not meet the new company's specifications, and because the debt requires continuous flock placement to service. Or cannot easily exit because the chicken house has no alternative use and no resale value without a contract attached to it. The independent farmer who owned his chickens took market risk. The contract grower who owns only the debt takes all the risk of ownership with none of the upside of ownership. Some farmers have found ways to navigate the system. Direct market poultry. Raising birds outside the integrator system and selling direct to local restaurants, farmers markets, and direct consumers. Smaller scale. More labor-intensive. Real ownership of real birds at real prices. Cooperative processing. Groups of small producers sharing processing facilities to reduce the cost of direct market poultry. The cooperative model your grandfather would recognize. Farmers solving a shared problem together. Pasture-raised premium markets. Differentiating on quality rather than competing on volume with vertically integrated giants. The premium market that exists precisely because industrial poultry cannot deliver what some consumers want. These alternatives work at small scale. They do not scale to replace the integrator system for most growers who are already locked in by existing debt. Yeah, you used to walk into your chicken house and know that every bird inside it was yours. You decided when to sell. You decided what to feed them. You decided what the operation looked like. The risk was real, and the ownership was real, and the profit, when it came, was completely yours. Now the birds belong to a company in a corporate headquarters in Springdale, Arkansas, or Salisbury, Maryland, or Pittsburgh, Texas. The building belongs to you. The land belongs to you. The debt belongs to you. The labor belongs to you. The risk belongs to you. The chickens do not. Did your family raise chickens before the contract system arrived? Do you remember when your grandfather owned his own flock and sold at his own price? Are you a contract grower today? Do you remember why it looked like a good deal when you signed? What does it look like now? Did you watch neighbors sign contracts and later lose everything when the company decided not to renew? A building full of debt and empty of birds and no way out? Tell us below. Because the farmers who remember owning their chickens understand something about an $18,000 annual income on $1 million investment that no integrator annual report will ever fully explain. Share this with a farmer who remembers when the chickens on their farm belonged to them.